agenda as published. Okay. Then, one of the other four of you, can you please give me, oh no, we can't take. Okay, we're just going to proceed without a vote on the agenda as published. Four of you, can you please give me, oh no, we don't. Okay, we're just going to proceed without a vote on the agenda as published. I'm hearing a background thing or a repeat. Am I the only one hearing that, or?
No, I hear it as well. I hear it.
I'm hearing a background thing or a repeat. Am I the
That's
only one hearing that, or?
No, I hear it.
Everybody,
myself.
please
I
mute
hear it.
for a second and let's see if
Yeah.
we can isolate this. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, it's not mine. And Marilyn, will you unmute yours, please, and just give us a count? Just Marilyn, can you unmute, please? Well, okay, we'll skip Marilyn for the time being. Annie, you look like you're unmuted. Can you give us a count? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No echo. That's good. Julie, can you unmute, please? And give us
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's good. Kanoe, can you unmute, please?
Yes. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4.
So far, so good. David, can you unmute, please?
I just did.
Okay. Give us a count, please. It sounded good. Let's try a little more. 1, 2, 3.
5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate?
There you go. Suzanne, can you unmute, please?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Okay. And Bonnie?
4, 5, 6. I'm here.
Okay. And Marilyn, you're
4,
last.
5, 6.
Okay. Well, somehow it's gone now, which is good. Okay. All right. Okay, the approval of the minutes will remain in abeyance pending a quorum, which may be in the next meeting. And no public comment from no public visitors. And can move into the action and discussion items, and there's the DEI video part 1.
Yep. So we're gonna not be doing that today. We have a consultant we're purchasing the video rights to, and that didn't come through yet. The city as a whole is doing some work with that. We have a conversation though that we can have that I would like to see if any more people come. So if we could proceed with the rest of our agenda, that'd be what I would recommend.
Okay. And the rest of our agenda is information reports from the Center 50 director, Marilyn.
Very good. Well, I want to welcome back Kanoe today. She's been out on some leave, but she is going to actually launch our conversation today and give us an update on the fitness center.
All right, thanks, Marilyn. Well, as you may know, we lost our yoga teacher back in July, and we worked hard to hire a new one. So we've got a new yoga instructor. She's been teaching the past few weeks. Her name is Debbie Lee. We're excited to be able to have our yoga programs back. Our Silver Sneakers Yoga is always a big class. So I'm really glad that we were able to carry those on. It was a long couple months with no yoga. Another introduction is our massage therapist. We've been looking, if you know, we lost our massage therapist after our opening, after COVID. And we've been trying to find someone, and it's really been hard to find somebody. But we have Heather Olson of Marigold Fitness, of Marigold Massage. And she is going to be starting massage therapy for us. We were hoping to have her start this month. We've got our contract process done. We just need the background check to come back. And then we can get started. I think that'll be a great asset to our program. I did mention maybe a month or two ago that we haven't had our foot care program because the gal that was running it for us was on medical leave. She is feeling better. She really wants to come back. And to be honest with you, it's really hard to find someone to take her spot. In fact, actually, when she had said she wasn't sure if she could come back, I said, is there anyone you know? And you know, we've tried different avenues. The thing right now is it used to be relatively inexpensive to try and hire someone. We could go on Craigslist and it was free. Some of these Indeed and different search engines were free trials and different thing. And now you can spend up to $300 just trying to make an account to try and hire people. So it can be a little bit spendy. And if they end up not lasting, it's a much bigger expense than it used to be. So we've been working on that. And we're excited to at least have massage back, and hopefully we'll be able to have foot care back in the next few weeks or so. Another thing that we have coming up is our health screening. We've partnered with the Czech Center, and we are doing a free community health screening. You make your appointments through the Czech Center, but we will be holding the health screenings at the center next Monday. So I was actually pretty excited. They have 40 spots available. And when I checked in about a week ago, they had filled 25 or something. So it's nice to know that people are interested in getting these numbers, getting their panel done. Let's see. That was kind of everything I had. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions of Kanoi?
Is the Czech Center open to the public, or are they delegating activities outside?
You know, I believe they are open, David. I know a lot of their stuff is, doing classes out in the community, but I believe that they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got a question here, Kanoi, from
Sure.
my wife with regard to the yoga teacher and respite. Will the yoga teacher be doing respite?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Debbie just started. Unfortunately, she started while I was out on my medical leave. So I come back this week and we'll probably have a conversation about it. I'm not sure if that's the direction Wendy was wanting to go or if she has some other ideas, but yeah, we'll have to check.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In answer to David's question, Czech Center has always been open and in fact has a community library of information that you could get. But with COVID, I don't know if they've reopened or not. I would think so, but Quick Call would let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to start back. Thank you, Kanoi. We're going to start at the top and just kind of briefly go through. We've got a lot going on at the center right now. Heads up that this Saturday we have a clam chowder feed from 11:30, and it's actually 11:30 to 2, not 2:30. That's needs to be corrected. Clam chowder feed 11:30 to 2, and it is a fundraiser for the center. Chowder or chicken noodle soup and all the sides that go with it. And children are welcome. There's a special price for kids. And this is a great day. You know, when someone says, oh, I'm always so busy on Saturday. Well, this is the perfect event for you because you still have to eat. And it is a jump in, have a bowl of soup, spend 45 minutes with us and head out the door. As a matter of fact, we need people to come and go so that we can serve more people. So don't feel like if you can't set the whole day aside for this, that you have to skip it. Also, if you have plans to go to a football game or go on a fall foliage tour, or you're even heading to a fall wedding, this is still a way to fit into your day because I've started it at 11:30, so we could beat some of those other deadlines. Also, next Friday, Veterans Day, that is November 11th. The center itself is actually closed because it is a recognized holiday, but we are opening up the kitchen and the dining room just for the Veterans Day luncheon. And as always, veterans eat free thanks to our sponsor, Dignity Funeral Services. We'll have a ham or chicken dinner and some music by Melissa from the respite program. And then we're going to be doing a short program, but it is a great event. And if you know of anybody that's a veteran, here's a time to have a lunch and let us honor you. That starts at 12 noon. We will not open the doors before 11:30. So the building itself is actually not staffed by only one of us and volunteers. So we won't be able to open up the whole building for other activities that day. The reason we're actually doing it on the day of the event is it works very well because Marion Polk Food Share is completely closed on Veterans Day. And really the only way we can access the kitchen and the dining room at this point is to do it on days that they are closed. So, which is, really a challenge when we're used to tying many of our events to the lunch program. I mean, through the years, we always partnered for Christmas Eve, the Thanksgiving dinners, the Veterans Day luncheons. We've always partnered with Marion Polk Food Share to combine our efforts and put on these great events. And we've really lost that. And that's something that our hope is that we're going to be able to build back to that in the future. But Marion Polk Food Share's program has really shifted to a Meals on Wheels focus. And that's, we completely understand the limitations that they have. But again, just trying to figure out how do we serve our population in the building as well. Another thing coming up is we have a fun event called Tea Among the Trees. This is a ladies' tea party with musical entertainment and a fashion show by Maurice's, and also a light tree and wreath silent auction. It's $25 per person. Again, this is a fundraiser. This is not one of our community outreach efforts, but more an effort to raise money to support our free services we offer it through the center. Tickets are on sale right now through our website at Friends of Center 50 Plus. So we've partnered with Friends and you can purchase your tickets through them directly. We also have another thing coming up on 12/22. And of course, this is just a smidge of the things happening. We have opportunities for you to carol with us. We have opportunities to make gifts and cards for people that live in community care settings. I mean, it's endless, all of the different activities that people have stepped forward to lead. If you don't hear of something that you think we should be doing, it means that a volunteer has not stepped forward to lead it. That's just when we have it, people give us guidance and say, why are you not doing this? It's really easy to say, well, these are all volunteer run or different activities, and a volunteer has not stepped forward to assist. So if you hear of something you want to do, just know we'd love to see you do it. There's plenty of opportunity to contribute to the overall operations at the center. That's how we function. But for the holiday open house, volunteers are going to be running a holiday party with bingo and snacks and games and cards and sing-alongs and all of that. But we're tying it also with our annual Alzheimer's Respite Art Show. We're just trying to leverage and build volume for all these different activities by creating synergy. And so the Respite Art Show is always offered in December, but we are combining it with some of the other efforts going on 12/22. The theme for the art show this year, oh, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's art from the heart, but we'll have to confirm that. It will be all of the artwork that our respite folks are making for the entire month of November and December, and will be on display. And it's always amazing because it's paired with stories and memories. It's not just the activity of putting paint on paper. It's the process of making those paintings that is so beautiful and amazing. And the stories and the memories that people can grab onto from their childhood and share with us is always, it's actually always heartwarming.
Marilyn,
Mhm.
can I interject something on that?
Yes, please.
I volunteer at the Respite on Thursday, and we've done these art projects that I want to do, and I have done, and it's just amazing what these people are making, that we're all making, and it's so fun. So yeah, that'll be exciting. I'm really anxious to see that.
Thank you. Yes, Bonnie, it is. And I know that there's always a couple that we always think, one or two every year, that we think this should be in a gallery.
Yes.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
always some that are that amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other questions about these upcoming activities and events? I mean, these are just special events that I'm spotlighting, but please check out the new 50 Plus magazine that's on stands everywhere. It's here at the center. Also on the website under 50 Plus magazine, they have an online version. And then also be sure to look at our website at cityofsalem.net and check out our program guide, because this is just a smidge of the things that are going on. So this last month, I'm going to move on to the technology focus group. This last month, we had invited people in and we handed them a sheet of activities we needed them to do from their cell phone, from a laptop. And so we brought them into the tech room upstairs and we gave them this list of things. And we have the full results, but I wanted to just give you a high level today. The results showed that most people are utilizing their phone to connect to technology. And that included their emailing, their texting, their Facebook browse, and then their browsing of the internet. So when they had their phones with them, and that was what they normally utilized, they actually were fairly proficient on what they were doing. Unless they were on sites that were not mobile friendly, then that was a quick end to their browsing. There was a group of people that came in, and I think we have over 100 surveys that were turned in. But of this group of folks, there were some that arrived, and within 15 minutes, they did all of the activities we asked them. We asked them to hop on our website and to find two different things that were on the list: the program guide and our hours of operation. We asked them to find us on Facebook and to like our page. We asked them to register for a class or go all the way to the final step of registering for a class for the City of Salem website. We asked them to try a Sign Up Genius and to reserve a spot in our lapidary or our wood shop or our fitness room. And we had a group of people, a small group of people that came in and were able to do all those things, not just from their phone, but also from the laptops that we had. Then we also had a larger group of people that struggled with the tasks, and that included pretty much everything. Finding a website. Many people even said, I didn't even know you have a website. But when we inquired further, we said, well, is it very common that you find organizations don't have a website? And they said, well, I don't even know. I don't even look for websites. So it wasn't just that they didn't know Center 50 Plus didn't have a website. In general, it was just not their thing. There was a lot of confusion on what you find through Google. For example, we asked them to access our Facebook page or access our website, and we did not give them the website address. And so we wanted to know what tools or techniques did they use to find or navigate the website and or the internet, and how would they find us? So most people were able to get to the Google search. And in that process, they were confused when they clicked on the link that said Center 50 Plus, they could not tell if it was website or if they were on our Facebook page. And the majority of the people were actually on our Facebook page and trying to navigate Facebook as opposed to our website. So really what was great about this is that we had our webmaster on site while we were having these conversations. And he was able to hear some of the struggles, but he was also able to hear the reality that we face, which is there are still people that don't use the internet. And there are still people that need to be doing in-person and face-to-face conversations. And how do we blend both those worlds, and trying to figure out the best way to serve everybody, those that only use the internet and want everything delivered to their computer and phone, and those that they think they're using a computer because they do get email. Same people that say, I do email, but I don't want to be on anybody's email list, even yours. So there's that little debate on how to best handle that. So it was very eye-opening for maybe people at the city. For us, it just reaffirmed the struggles we're having. Now, what is task 2? Well, first, the webmaster is taking back our information, identifying things that continue to be the issue. How many of you have been on our website? I can't see everybody, but hopefully everybody's raising your hands. Okay, so down one side of the page, actually on two sides, there's a table of contents on the left, I guess is what you'd call it, and they're all live links. And then on the right, we have this button system, and it's the big topics: program guide, register for a class. It's the big buttons. 1 out of 6 people in the group that came to our focus group knew or understood that the blue buttons took them places. So what that really said to us is making sure that our website is as user-friendly as it can be to your basic user, but it also gave us some new direction for the classes we're offering. We went through a phase where we didn't have people signing up for basic classes, and we have now tapped into a whole new group through this last 2 years of COVID who refused to do technology, have now finally decided they better learn a little something. And for them, they really are at introduction to computers. They're at the most basic level. And so we're going to have to dust off those classes if we want to serve that group better. But we also have that debate, even if we offer all those classes, will they come? And we don't really know that. So it's always interesting when you hear people working on those phones and working on those laptops. I had the cutest, I actually had the most amazing person come who was so willing to help us. And she had a brand new to her phone, which would brand new to her phone, given to her from her kids, that was at least 5 years old, the phone itself. And I said, okay, well, how do you get on access your information? Well, and do you have a laptop? No, but my kids say I can use my phone. And I said, okay, well, let's find our website. And she said, just a moment. I think if I push this button, they tell me my phone will turn on. And it was that I was so thankful for her because she gave us perspective, but also her willingness to just put herself out there and admit that it was not ideal for her. This phone usage was not working. So that was a good thing. I kind of wanted to hear any feedback from you on the technology. We'll have the data on, how often people use it, what they use it for. And bottom line is the majority of the people, I had a handful of people that use it for everything. Banking, buying tickets, travel plans. I mean, you name it, handful of them. And the rest, well, if I want to look up, since I don't have a telephone book anymore, I use it to find information about built addresses, phone numbers, hours of business. And so that's kind of their limits. So I don't know, Annie, I saw you kind of look when I said that about doing everything online. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't do banking. There's no way I'm doing my banking online because I know the hackers know more than I know. So that definitely stays off. And I did practice. I told Marilyn I volunteer with Habitat for Humanity, and so I couldn't be at the session, but I went on and tried it out, and it looks better. And now, because like for me, one of the main pieces that classes that I have participated in were the ones through the health and wellness classes. And so once I worked through with staff the fact that those are not under classes, it's not a register for a class. You have to go to health and wellness to find it, then I was okay. But that just, and I guess for me, that's a philosophical thing where if it were with the classes and register for a class, maybe there'd be a broader, more people would sign up because more people would see it, as opposed to only the people that are using Fit 50 or clicking into health and wellness, seeing it. And so this is like, there was one on sleep, there was one on stress management, the one on the roundtable with David's book on all the things need to know with Medicare and things. All of those don't show up unless you go to health and wellness, or at least didn't used to. So the biggest and I'll keep looking at the website, because the biggest problem before was Center 50 Plus is under Public Works. And so it was so hard to figure out even how to get there. But now I think it sounds like it's much easier. You can put it in Google and it's the web page is gonna come up. So
Well, and we're on the front page now. We have our own, how it
Good.
says all the different library. Well, we have our own
Perfect.
50 plus seniors. So that did get fixed. We're still trying to figure out, we use the program guide and we try to explain in each story topic. So in the program guide, it lists every one of those classes and how to register. That is hard. That I can see where the confusion is, because when you click register for a class, Right now, that's like a link to take you to pay. And if you aren't paying for something because it's
No.
free, it won't let us go there. So we're still trying to
No.
work through. That's basically a payment portal, and we need it to be more of a exactly what you're saying. Okay, here's all the class options and some are free, but we're still working with them on that. But I think they're going to help us. I
Good.
think they figured out we can put a 0 in.
Oh,
That it is 0. So we'll see, all of this, what is it called when you do these programming? I mean,
Right.
it's zeros and
Coding.
coding and symbols and all the things that go into it. We just need them to figure out how to switch the coding switch. Just allows us to do what we need, but we're working on that, but you're not alone on that one.
Okay. Well, and
Marilyn, Julie has a
there's-
question.
Mhm. Go ahead.
I wanted to make sure Bonnie's finished. Did you have more? Sorry, Annie.
I just wanted to thank Marilyn for doing this, as well as the IT people, because that's the key, is making it as easy as possible. And I think for all of us, if we go into something and we spend 45 minutes just trying to get in, we don't often go back again. So the advertising too that you've done, that the website is new, that it's easy to get to, is also a good factor. So people who've been in and not had a good experience with the old system will give it a try with the new system.
Yeah, good.
I have a couple, questions and a comment. Curious if the group, if you collected demographic data and just kind of, so you just like who showed up to the test group even, and then do you have any sense of who we need to reach back to? Because is it, I guess, and here's my secondary question, is the struggle or the barrier to reaching folks more about the access to the technology, or is it more about their feelings toward the technology? And so I'm just curious if you garnered any of that information
We did
in the process.
Yes, good questions, because we did do we gathered age and we gathered years of usage.
Okay.
And there was not a direct correlation in our non-scientific measures between age and openness to technology.
Okay.
So we had a couple of people that were in their early 90s that are completely open to technology. So we didn't have any link directly in our gathering of information. But we did have a connection between, so psychologically there was a huge barrier. The second though was there was a link between that and the quality of their technology. So I would say the next level would be income, or access to those services, because when it was hand-me-down things from their kids, they became so frustrated with the outdated technology that they didn't even know that's why they were frustrated. I don't know if that was an income thing or if it was they didn't want to spend the money, and so they just had these hand-me-downs. So we don't know that, and I should have gathered that. But the thing I do know is we can't correlate age to their technology skills.
True.
Okay. I just think that's always good information. Like, what is the reason for the struggle, right? So, or what do people report the reason is, and whether or not they're aware that, for example, the technology is the barrier because they don't have updated technology. The comment I have is a couple weeks ago, I was in Baltimore for the Alliance of Information Referral Systems Conference, which sounds like a snoozer, but had some really interesting things. And one of them I connected, and I may forward his information to you, Marilyn. I was trying to look back through my email. He sent it and I don't remember who he is, but he this gentleman there's been some research done on folks who use text to want to access all sorts of services, included stuff like information and referral, which is what we do here at ADRC. He said something like 70% of older adults prefer to text, which I found really interesting. So, so I don't know, they're looking for a place here in Oregon to do some pilot projects.
Oh,
And so, so if you're interested, I can forward the information to you. He wanted to talk to me because it's part of what we do, but I'm just curious if, if any conversation with this person might be helpful.
Yeah.
He works for, I don't know, I think Maryland 211, but the state of Maryland 211, but he also has some other connection. They're just this nationwide movement to try to connect folks of any age and any ability to information. And so, and looking at all the ways and so anyways, there's just been some interesting studies done and all sorts of stuff. So if you're looking for some more support information or connections, I can dig this person up and send them to you.
I think that would be great. I will tell you that does not surprise me about the texting because almost, I'm not sure of the percentage, but it was rare for us to have somebody at our little session that didn't text.
Right.
And now that we're in the cafe, we are not printing out receipts anymore. You can either get it via text or email.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody tells me, it is so uncommon for someone to say, email it to me. Everybody is accepting it via text.
Yeah.
So that tells me that's probably in line with what people are saying. Also, when people sign up here, you can get robocalls or robotexts. People choose robotexts, and they're more likely to give us their phone number than their email. For some reason, they don't want, they're not excited about getting on email lists. So.
Well,
You know what I think that
It's good
is,
information.
Marilyn?
Yeah,
I wonder if it isn't because we hear so much about scams and we try to tell our seniors so much about, be careful what you click on, but it almost feels safer when it's just a text that you're like, oh, I don't know, that doesn't seem right. But I don't know. I wonder if that's because it used to be when we used to ask for people's phone numbers and emails, either they'd say, I don't have an email, or they'd say, well, are you going to call me? Are you guys just going to keep calling me? What do you need my number for? But now that, there's more people texting and they are more apt to give us that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Changing.
well,
and
yeah. So I think this is just our first kind of brush at it. I have to tell you, the ones that came to it were people that were familiar with or have complained about using Sign Up Genius or buying, they don't want anything to do with the computer. We picked their brains the most because we were trying to use it as a guide for our classes and to just see, what their biggest barriers were, because some of it, that was kind of our recruitment tool. You complain, guess what? You come to a focus group to help me figure out what makes you unhappy. Annie?
Just a quick one. I decided to Google, I have an iPhone, so I went into Safari and put in Center 50 Plus. Was happy to see that the Center 50 Plus came up. But then there are two places. One goes directly to cityofsalem.net. Another goes to egov.cityofsalem.net. And it starts with, if you've not registered already, please click the register button, and then it's asking for passwords and logins and things. What is eGov?
eGov is where you register every time when you say, I want to find where the class is, I want to register for a class, that's where it takes you. Now, the reason it's at the top is because people have been clicking on eGov for us. So it got bumped up because people are using it. That means they're registering for classes.
Okay, well, the first one that comes up is the regular website. So that's good.
That's
So,
good.
okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. eGov is
Marilyn?
the link. Yes.
Marilyn,
Uh-huh.
I just have a couple of things. Are we thinking about doing another focus group on that?
We will, but
And-
not till the new year. We're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna do a couple of classes. We're going to take the content we received, offer a few classes, make the adjustments on the website that we identified as issues, then we'll come back and do it again.
Okay, and the second thing is, I personally like the Facebook because it's more interactive. What you put out there, I can share.
Mhm,
And I think that gets the word out really easy.
mhm.
It is easy for me, so that's great.
So I like the Facebook because it is interactive. We're still working on how do we help people realize that's not the end all.
Oh,
So someone looks on there and they see that we have 3 events. They don't see any event that sounds good to them. They don't always click on our website to find out more. And so we're still working on tools and techniques to get people to browse or be curious about what else we
Yeah.
do. Yeah, but it is a good one. We are over 5,000 followers and people that interact with us in Facebook on a regular basis. So it just is pretty good for us.
yeah, just a big tag saying, go to the website, more information.
Right.
Exactly. That's good.
Okay,
Well, and following that, if there was a way to add to that eGov in the title, Center 50 Plus class registration, then it wouldn't have been confusing to me. Because then I would have known, oh, I'm in the class registration one. I'm not at the Center 50 Plus main website.
Sounds good. Yes. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Well, let's move on to outreach. I gave you the numbers for this last month, and we had over 112 active volunteers last month, and we did a lot. Friendly phone calls and volunteer visits to care facilities. We did a whole week of Halloween costume and window parades. We did have a couple of facilities that we normally go in and do parties with, but they had a COVID outbreak. So we just went to the windows and had a whole outdoor parade. So we're just adjusting. It's still a thing. COVID does exist. And so we're always treading lightly in we always want to plan things that can be quickly canceled or modified. So that's where we are. So everything we do they're a little bit simpler in version, a little, I guess, less complicated in not fewer details. That allows us to roll things back. It means we're not buying large quantities of food in advance. I mean, just some things like that. But the volunteers have just really been coming back for our outreach services, and they're all doing a great job. And then we're continuing to do our service days throughout the entire summer, and we're going to go until the weather gets too bad to work. And I think probably November, middle of November will be the end of all that. We go out into every major geographic area of Salem, and we commit to helping seniors in that neighborhood, whether it's yard work or house clean out or, a variety of chores. And we get volunteers of all ages from our Fix It Brigade program, from our outreach workers, as well as community partners in that neighborhood. And so sometimes it's business focused, sometimes it's other agencies, but it definitely has been a team builder and a community builder, being out in as a variety of neighborhoods. Now, the thing about it though, is the referrals are self-referrals. And so next year, we're going to streamline the referral process and hopefully encourage neighbors and agency partners to make the referrals so that we can get more. There is no shortage of need. So I want to say that we don't need to recruit heavily for more people to serve unless we are able to match that with more volunteers. So we have to just balance the number of volunteers with the activities we have. So we have learned a lot this year and we'll continue to build on that program next year. Here are the volunteer hours by category, and I'll let you look at those. Pretty exciting. The Canine Corps was out 26 hours this month, so that's pretty fun. And we've been working on our Villages network, and we had 12 hours of activities in the community through the Villages network and the Wellness on Wheels. I will tell you, we're enjoying this partnership with Just Walk Salem. And I know that we want to continue to work on that. And next year in the spring and summer, you know, figure out how we can continue to support Just Walk Salem even more, and that we can partner on things. I think last week we had one really successful walk. I don't know if Annie wants to speak on that or if she was a part of that.
So which one, Marilyn?
You know what? It was the one that went out. I can't, now that I can't recall what the name of the park was. But
Okay.
there was a dozen people.
Yeah, there were 14 people on the walk that Edgewater did. So Edgewater Partners is in West Salem, but everyone is welcome. We also just posted the Owl Prowl, and that's actually already closed with a waiting list because that's a really popular program where they walk late in the so it's getting dark and then gets dark out at Minto Brown to hear the owl.
Ooh.
And that's going to happen Sunday, the whatever, let's see, 11, 12, the 13th. And then we'll have we always do a walk at Kaiser Lights, and that'll be in December on the 16th, a Monday, starting at 6 p.m. And we park now at Gubser Middle School and encourage people to bring a can of food or something. So we deliver that as we walk by, but we just try and we have events that happen every week with certain groups at Bush Park in West Salem, downtown. And like you said, if there's a volunteer to be the leader, then another walk can happen. And Life Source on Sunday. So, you don't sign up for it, you just show up. That's the beauty of Just Walk. And it's a whole different model based on that. So, because in most cases you do need to sign up for things. Well, and the Owl Prowl is the one exception where you have to sign up because so many people are interested in that. So anyway, but we love having a partnership with Center 50 Plus, and it's great. And with Heidi and the walks that around the center, there was a Halloween walk, I know. And so and winter's not our high season for people to want to go for a walk. So as we head towards March, it gets more popular again as the weather turns and it's not 100 degrees and it's not pouring rain. Those are our better times.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you. We appreciate being a part of Center 50 Plus because this is it started as a neighborhood driven program out of one of the neighborhoods, and it continued. But we have to have kind of a parent organization for background checks and things like that. So we appreciate being a part.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, lifelong learning, we had some successful classes. We had genealogy, and we did a 6-part course, and it was very well received. Ended in October, anywhere from 9 to 13 students per class, which is really actually perfect for that kind of discussion group. We returned some of our hobby areas. Pine needle basket weaving is back, did start. We're excited to have people come in, and they make beautiful, beautiful baskets and beautiful art, and they visit and have a wonderful time together. So that is on Monday mornings. It says Tuesday, but that's not true. It's Mondays from 9 to noon. We also have a wire wrapping, which is a jewelry making class. And that will be meeting every evening, and they've had 18 students enrolled in that. As a matter of fact, the room, because people miss from time to time, it sits about 15 people in that space, and that's just about right.
Wow.
Our freshman cohort, our lifelong learning cohort, both our freshman and our sophomore years have been going since September. We had, and then again in October, we had a great session. The sophomore cohort launching into understanding their local government and ways that they can make a difference in their community and how they can affect change. Well, we started out, our first field trip was at both the City of Independence, understanding how their urban development was able to recreate the whole waterfront park and all the upgrades to the City of Independence. And so they met with a planner from there, and actually, I think it was the community development director, and got the insight for the Darlington of Independence. Then they hopped back in the bus after lunch and they came over to the city of Salem, where we were in Laux Auditorium, and we had a representative from the city manager's office, Courtney, who talked about, how do cities' policies, how are they framed, and what kind of history led to things that we see, and then how can we change it, and how do we make change? Well, what was exciting is the brand new city manager came and spoke to the group, just sat on the edge of this big auditorium stage, right up close and personal with our group. I felt like I was in a lecture at an Ivy League school, with, face-to-face time. And then on the very last day that the mayor was going to be in City Hall, he spent it with us. And Mayor Chuck Bennett came and he spent like 45 minutes with us, giving us his real thoughts and feelings about life and about city government and the experiences he's had in the last, 50 years of his life, through whether it was a lobbyist or a reporter or mayor, giving us, and everyone in the room could really ask questions up close and personal. It is those kind of experiences that our freshman and sophomore cohorts are getting to it. That is what they're getting different than any other class here at Center 50 Plus, or even any other organization. We are giving them backdoor access and face-to-face question and answer time with people that know the answers. And it's pretty exciting. And whether it's through the understanding local government, or whether it's understanding our nonprofits, or if it's even the latest and best information on brain health, all of those things are so important. We get them backdoor access, we get them insider information, and we give them an opportunity to ask the questions of researchers and ask the questions of the famous movie star. So if you did not sign up because you think it sounds like, one more class, you're really missing out on some great opportunities. And I would encourage you to consider doing the freshman cohort next year, because we will fill up and we'll fill up again. Our freshman cohort this year was full and with a waiting list. And so we anticipate it being even more popular next year because they're getting to do some pretty cool stuff. And then give you just kind of a quick little view of what else she's been doing in our lifelong learning class. Computer basic courses are filling up again. They're doing quite well. There's a lot of people that are saying, hey, I need to learn more about technology. And then just fun things, we're trying to keep things lighthearted and fun. Just not everything has to be your big serious conversations like Medicare or understanding Social Security, or all those things that we know we have to know, and it's important we have that information. But maybe it won't be so daunting if we mix in some lighthearted, high success rate activities where you come in and you walk out with an Halloween origami candy box, where you feel like you've just accomplished everything in 1 hour or less. So those are the kind of things we're trying to add in there. More fun and more friendships. Respite. Any questions about lifelong learning? I
I'll
have to
be
tell,
signing up.
yeah, well, so I have to tell you, so I had that face-to-face. I mean, I'm pretty close. I mean, I've had a very good relationship with I've always had good relationships with our mayors, all of my mayors. And whether it was Janet Taylor or Anna Peterson or Chuck Bennett, or Mayor Swaim. I mean, I've had 4 mayors, and I have been very fortunate to have good relationships with all my mayors. But on this very last day, to be with him, and then the next morning, the press release or that evening, press release and announcement that he was resigning early and moving to Ohio. It was very, I felt actually very fortunate to be one of his very last speaking engagements.
Oh, yeah.
Respite, Wendy Kilgore. She's doing just a bang up job. We have 99 participants.
Wow.
That means duplicated. So, because we have program spots. So whenever they're in a spot, we have to count them as a participant. So, which averages about 8 a day. We had 12 days of program. Time with Friends serves about 10 a day. That's our Thursday program. And it is, our early stage memory program is going really well. And it's very, the participants are really very much about leading and being a part of the group. I mean, they're big contributors to the success of that program. We opened in October on Fridays. The numbers there are more like 5 on that day. But that's okay, because we're short on Fridays volunteers. So we're trying to get volunteers recruited, trained, background checked, all of that, so that we can add some numbers to our Friday program. Our volunteers are incredible. We have a great team right now. Everyone gets along well. Everybody major contributors to the success of the program. And that is an exciting place to be. And then you heard from Conoy. So that is what I have on my list today. I'm working on our annual report. I'm hoping that we'll be ready to go before council the first week in January with the results of our last year. Gathering the data and making sure that we're ready for that. Still working on kind of what our theme is going to be. Not exactly sure. If you have a few words that you think describes the last year of Center 50 Plus in your mind, feel free to shoot it to me, because I am looking for some inspiration on what the center meant, this year. We've had moving forward. We've had, a concept of all about friendships, social isolation and loneliness. I mean, we've had some reoccurring themes, but we're doing all things now, but we're not completely full back. So how do you portray that? And so, I don't know, healing, fun, friendship, I don't know, any words that inspire are words that come to mind when you think of Center 50 Plus. I've already used resilient and I've already used pivoted. So,
What's the word limit? How long do you want it?
Well, you don't have to, it's not really a title. You can send me any thoughts you have, because I
Okay.
will grab nuggets from it. It doesn't have, you're not coming up with the title for the front cover. You don't have to
Okay.
worry about that. Yeah.
What?
Just words that would come to mind. If you were journaling about the experiences you've had at Center 50 Plus, what words would be in your journal? And send those
Oh.
to me.
Oh, you got them. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ron.
Say again?
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm done.
you're done, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Marilyn. The next thing on the agenda is a report on fundraising, which is usually done by Linda, who isn't here. Briefly, there, in the last meeting that the Friends Board had, there was a presentation by volunteers from, oh shoot, I forget the name of their organization.
Mountain West.
Yes, right, that one. And well, there was an inconclusive result from that presentation, but there's work being done on trying to attain a focus for Friends on what their what the main items are going to be for raising funds to support Center 50 Plus. And that remains under construction at this point. Marilyn, do you have any comments you'd like to add in that regard?
So the focus of this last meeting for Friends was to come up with what they considered their elevator pitch. And after a lot of conversation, it came down to the group as a whole was still figuring out what their elevator pitch would be. And we originally started out where people were trying to explain every single thing Center 50 Plus does, and that wasn't going to work in an elevator pitch. But what were the themes of our organization and what are the themes of Friends? And so there was kind of a long conversation about what are our themes. Now that consultant will take it back and they're going to reorganize the themes and come back with, rather than a straight 30-second elevator pitch, a handful of talking points so that when people are visiting with somebody, we're not just saying what we've memorized, but that we are engaging in a conversation where we get to know that person. It's not any different than the training we do at the reception desk. Someone comes in, they're brand new to the community. We ask that from the very, oh, have you lived in Salem long? Well, based on that answer directs us on what we want to share with them and what we want to, we want to fulfill their curiosity. And that's what the talking points are going to be about. So, yeah, it was a good conversation, actually. I enjoyed it a lot.
Right, and it's still under construction,
Yes.
but I'm sure there's going to be a good positive result in that, including a revision of the information brochure that we use to give to people to acquaint them with Center 50 Plus. Okay. Our agenda for this meeting says the next meeting is December 6th. Do we want to talk about that? Do we usually have an advisory commission meeting in December, Marilyn?
Suzanne, can you remind me?
I think that we do, not that we have to, but I think, so January is the day after New Year's Day, though. Sometimes I think that one's more likely to be canceled, but it's really up to the group, right?
I think that there wouldn't be any reason in my mind not to have the December one, but it would make more sense to consider the January one.
Okay, then we'll leave the next meeting as December 6th.
Definitely.
I'd like to thank you all for joining us at this meeting, and without a motion, we will close this informal meeting and see you in the whole month in 5 days on
Yay.
September 6th.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Have a
Bye.
happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness, I
Thank
can't even
you.
believe we're having a conversation that's already Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, oh, Bonnie, what, are you confused? And then I realized,
No.
no, she's not, I am.
No, no.
Thank
Talk to you later.
you,
Bye.
everyone. Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Marilyn, did
Yes.
you see that David did write the connection in tough times in the comments?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Connection in tough times. Yep.
That was a good one.
That is a good one. I gotta remember, I have to turn that off. I'm not allowed to have chats.
Oh,
I keep getting it. I keep forgetting. Okay, so I gotta turn this off. Okay.
okay.
Are
Okay,
you
I'll see you
coming in?
soon. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm coming
bye-bye.
in. I'll see you
Okay,
soon.
bye.
Bye.